So welcome to the follow-up Made Fun training. Today, we're going to cover 3 different areas of follow-up. We are going to cover different ways how you can keep yourself extremely organized when you're doing your follow-up. I'm going to share with you what to say so that you don't feel weird, different strategies that you can utilize to reach out to people without using scripts, because I'm not a script girl. I don't believe in them. I think that you need to be yourself and you need to customize your conversation to the person that you are speaking to, because it's always about them and not about you. And last but not least, I'm going to share with you some tools to create leverage and use mass communication so that it will make your follow-up easier. Now, hello, and welcome. If you are new to me and you have not seen me before, right? You're seeing these videos for the first time. You're seeing me on YouTube for the first time. My name is Lindsay Sewell. You can hop on over to lindsaysewell.com, and I would love to have you jump on my newsletter over there. That's where I share my best content, information, and all the marketing tools that I think will help you to build your business. So you can also type the word newsletter if you want to get onto my list. I would love to have you on there so that I can help you out in building your business. So today I intended on showing you a Trello board tutorial, because that's one of my favorite ways to organize my contacts. But unfortunately, due to some unforeseen internet issues, I am unable to share my screen with you today. So if you are new to Trello, if you've never heard of Trello before, then please put Trello tutorial in the comments and I will create a Trello tutorial. I will post it inside of this community. I will post it on YouTube and I will help you with setting up your first Trello board. But the reason why I use Trello to keep track of my follow-up, and this can apply to whether or not you have a network marketing business, an affiliate marketing business, or a coaching business. Let me know which of those 3 apply to you. Give me an answer in the comments on which of those 3, and maybe you have more than one, but what is your predominant business that you're building right now? And why is it that following up is so important? Well, I'll give you a few statistics on it. It oftentimes takes people 7 to 12 exposures to make a decision on whether or not they want to move forward with something. Whether that be a network marketing business, whether that is a coaching program, whether that is just getting inside of your Facebook group. This can apply to any of those situations. And so if people need to be exposed over and over again to use your products, to join your team, you need to be able to keep track of those people, because what you track, you can measure. You might want to write this down. What you track, you can measure, and what you measure, you can improve. If you are not tracking the people that you are connecting with every day, how do you know how effective you are at converting those people into sales, either your products, your business opportunity, or your coaching program? And if you're not tracking those people and you don't know how effective you are, how do you know how many more people you need to speak to in order to get the results that you want in your business? If you want to make $1,000 a month in your business and every single product that you sell, you earn $10 in commission, then you need to be making 100 sales per month. That could be existing customers or that could be new customers. But if you don't know that number, then how do you know how many people that you need to connect with? Is this ringing bells for anybody? Is this got light bulbs going off in your head? This is why follow-up is so important. Because if not, if you're just throwing your products and your curiosity posts out there into the world and hoping for the best, it's like throwing spaghetti on the wall. So we need to be able to have a way to keep track of the people that we're talking to or communicating with. We need to be able to capture them somehow. And stay tuned for the end of this video, because I'm going to share with you my favorite tools to capture people. It sounds terrible, but to capture people in a way that allows me to communicate with them easily over and over and over again. And then we need to have a system in place that makes sure people don't fall through the cracks. And then we need to have a way to follow up with them that isn't strange and salesy, and you will actually do so that you can see the results. Are you excited about that? I want to see how you're feeling about that. Give me some hearts, give me some comments, give me some energy here today. And let's start off with our first thing, which is organization. Organization could be as easy as this right here. This is simply a notebook. Now, this notebook, I keep notes for my business in, but you could literally have a notebook with blank pieces of paper. You could write down the date and you could write down the people who either commented on a curiosity post you did for your product on social media. They commented on a curiosity post you did for your business. They responded to a call to action, your Facebook Live, anything. You could simply write their name on that piece of paper. And then when you reach out to them, because they're raising their hand saying, yes, Lindsay, I want to hear more information, right? They are now warm to you. They are now warm to you. And when you reach out to them for the first time, you can move them to a different page on your list of being exposed for the first time to your products. And some people will say yes right away. A lot of people will also say no, that wasn't what they expected. They're not interested. They're not looking for a business right now. And some people will just not respond to you. And those people require the follow-up. And you can move them onto another page in the notebook for follow-up. Are you guys following me on this? This is the least expensive, least techy. Anybody on this video right now could do this. I'm sure you have paper in your house, and if not, it's not very difficult to go get yourself a notebook to start tracking people. And just by physically writing down people's names on a list and tracking them manually, you will improve the results in your business because you will not let them fall through the cracks and you will not forget about them. I'm seeing some love hearts. So I'm seeing some people going, oh my gosh, maybe you're not doing this right now. And this is a big insight for you. This doesn't have to be complicated. And sometimes the simplest tweaks in our business can have a huge impact if we're leaving something on the table by not taking care to treat the business like a business. So now if you're like, okay, I don't want a notebook, Lindsay. I don't want papers all over my office. I've got Post-it notes galore right now. That's how I'm tracking people. I'm losing people and it's not working for me. If you are, raise your hand. If you feel unorganized, let me know in the comments if you feel unorganized with your follow-up. And maybe paper isn't the answer for you. Maybe it is. Maybe I just gave you a big insight onto a way for you to be more organized in your business. But maybe you would like something a little more digital, a little more portable. Maybe you'd like it on your telephone where you can take it with you everywhere you go. Because I know you take your phone with you everywhere you go because everybody takes their phone everywhere. People sleep with their phone. They take their phone to the bathroom. They take their phone to the pool with them. Everywhere. Everywhere. People take their phone with them everywhere they go. All right. So we've got some folks saying I lose track of all the conversations. All right. So this is where, for those of you who want something that's a little bit more digital, a little bit more portable, and you have a little bit more tech skills, and we're not getting very techy here, guys, but that's where I'm going to recommend Trello. And as I said earlier, if you do not know how to use Trello, put Trello tutorial in the comments and I will create a tutorial video on Trello. But for those of you who are familiar with it, Trello is, in my opinion, a digital whiteboard. What do I mean by that? Well, I have a large whiteboard in my office where I keep track of different things that I'm working on in my business. So that can have my clients' names on there. That can have important dates for affiliate programs and launches that I'm doing. That can have workshops. That can have ideas for content for my group coaching program. All of those things can be kept on my whiteboard. And Trello is like a digital whiteboard because you can have multiple Trello boards. It's just like having a lot of whiteboards in your office in order to keep different things organized. And we've got some people saying, I love Trello, I love Trello. So let me give you some ideas, if you're already a Trello fan, on different ways that I use it in my business. Yes, it is like also like a spreadsheet for work, right? Like a spreadsheet would be for people who are doing mathematical and financial calculations. Trello is like that. It's very visual. So if you're a visual person, you'll love Trello. I have different Trello boards for different areas of my business. First of all, if you're a coach, if you're in the coaching business, Trello is a great way for you to keep organized with your clients' content. You can exchange information via the Trello board. Instead of emailing things back and forth and worrying that they're going to get lost, your clients can upload things to your Trello board. You can respond to them. So you can organize your personal clients if you're a coach using Trello. I also use Trello to organize all my content creation for the week. Every single Sunday, I sit down and I plan out all my content for the week that will be posted on Pinterest, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. And I keep it all on the Trello board because there's this really neat little app on your phone called Trello. And once you have an account on your computer, you can access the app and everything is synchronized between your computer and your phone. So I can put all my content into the Trello board on my computer on the weekend. And if I'm on the go and I need to post something, I can just get it right on my phone and post on the go. I can copy whatever I've posted in the Trello board. I can download the images that I've saved there and post it right on the go. So those are two ways I use it that aren't related to follow-up. But here's the real beautiful thing. I love to use Trello as a follow-up mechanism. Instead of writing all those things in the notebook, you can have a card on Trello that says product curiosity post. And every single time somebody comments or raises their hand and says they're interested, you can add them to that list. It's actually a list on Trello. You add a card with their name. And you can type in a bunch of details about them. And you can put reminders in your Trello board that it will notify you. It'll actually send you a little notification if you're like, oh, I want to make sure I follow up with them on this date. You can set that as a reminder. You can color code people. And as I mentioned, if you're not familiar with this and you need a tutorial, just let me know because it would be a lot easier if I could demonstrate this live, but that's a whole nother story for another day. So you can have all of these people's names. You can have all of this content stored here for them. You can set reminders for yourself, and you can have different lists that group people into categories. If I were to make a suggestion to you, I would probably have one for product curiosity posts. I would probably have one for business curiosity posts. I would have another one for Facebook Lives, where this person responded to your call to action. And to keep it organized by the person, I would just put a little note in there, which product curiosity post. What product was it? If there's different products in your business, was it your collagen product, or your probiotic product, whatever they are. And then after you connect with the person for the first time, I would have another list that was called first exposure. And I would move that person over to the list that says first exposure. So I knew that we had a conversation already. And I would have another list that says follow up. So that if that person didn't say yes during the first exposure and I needed to follow up with them, I can move them over to the day where I follow up with them. And then I would have another list that says current customer. So I move them over there once they say yes. And another list for those who say no, because you are in the process of sifting and sorting. You will get no's. That's okay. And I might have another one that says postpone follow-up. And I could set reminders. Maybe the person said, hey, I'm really interested in this business, but I've got this going on for the next 3 months. Please follow up with me 3 months from now. And I want to move them off of my general follow-up list just to get them out of that so I'm not looking at it over and over again. but moving them over to that postponed follow-up. You can have whatever lists you want. These are just my suggestions to you. And I wanted to visually give you an idea of how easy this could be and how organized you can make it like that without a lot of time. This won't take you a ton of time. This is not a complex technology. It is just like a digital whiteboard. And you just move people from column to column to column until you bring them to a decision. So I am seeing those of you saying, I need to up my Trello game. And really, you just need to get started because it's not complicated. It's not hard. And it is a great way for you to stay organized. So let me know, give me some thumbs ups, leave me if that was helpful to you, if that helped you have a little bit more insight on why it's so important to stay organized with the people that you're following up with. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome as you guys jump on. Now, part 2, and I think this is kind of the meat and potatoes of this training because you are really looking for, what do I say? What do I say when I make my follow-ups so that I'm not being a salesy weirdo? Did anybody put yes if you resonated with that? The post that I had made inviting you to this training today about, does follow-up make you feel like a salesy weirdo? Because I know for me personally, when I got started, I didn't know how to follow up with people. I didn't know how to speak to people. And so I felt very salesy. I felt very awkward. I felt very strange. I felt very not me in doing the follow-ups. And I butchered a lot of them. I really, truly did. And I don't know if I lost friends because I think my true friends were able to say, hey, Lindsay, come on, that was kind of ridiculous and see past it. But I probably lost potential friends, people who didn't quite know me yet. And they thought that I was being a little bit too pushy. Okay, I've got some other people that are feeling that way. I see you saying yes, 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 yes. It made me feel strange. So here are my follow-up strategies. And I call them strategies, not tactics. There's a difference between tactics and strategies. Tactics is, using some sort of secret script or NLP language or something like that that's going to be persuasive and manipulative. Strategy is all about your long-term game in your business, how you truly want to impact, help, and serve people. And so these are follow-up strategies. They're also not scripts because, as I mentioned earlier, everything depends on the person that you are speaking to. It's never about you when you're following up. And that might be a paradigm shift for you. Is if you're following up with the energy that you're in it to get somebody, to get the sale, then you probably will have a hard time and you probably will feel weird and awkward and strange about it because you're coming at it with an agenda, which is, for lack of a better word, selfish, because it is all about you. When you come at your follow-up with the intention of finding out if you can help and serve the other person, that doesn't require a script because it's all about them. So if you guys are ready to find out what they are, I've got 4 of them for you, 4 of them today. And the first one is assume innocence. When you send somebody information on your products, information, maybe you send them a tool, a video, you send them a link to a webinar to register for, you want to assume innocence. You want to assume that that person is busy. You want to assume that maybe they had all of the intention in the world of looking at what you sent them, but then all of a sudden their toddler screamed, "Mommy, I need you to wipe my bottom." And they ran off and it got lost in their Facebook Messenger and they completely forgot about it. I've done this, guys. I'm a mom. I've done this before. I had all intentions of buying something. It was like in my cart. Something happens. I get a phone call. My kid's crying and I run off. And then it just like disappears into the messenger abyss on Facebook. And I completely forget. So when you do your first follow-ups with people, if they haven't responded to you, you want to assume innocence and feel that you are actually doing them a favor by sending them that first reminder, right? So it could be something is if they said they wanted to sign up for a webinar, you say, hey, Susie, oh my gosh, that webinar last night was so good. I loved learning about XYZ. I just wanted to loop back with you and find out what your favorite part was. And at that point, they might go, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I meant to register for it. And then Timmy, fell on a Lego and he was crying and I totally missed it. Is there a replay? Now you've opened the conversation. You've opened the conversation again because you're assuming innocence. Maybe it was a business video that you sent over and you send them a quick reminder and saying, hey, I just promised you that I would check back with you in 24 hours and I just wanted to see what questions you had for me. So the other part of this is when you're sending them the original invitation to the webinar, to your product opportunity video, your, what your products are, your tools, whatever tools you're using in your business, make sure you set the next appointment with them. Make sure you have an expectation that it's not just I'll follow up with you someday. It's, hey, I'm going to check back with you in 24 hours. I'm going to check back with you in 48 hours. You might even want to ask them the question when they've asked you already, hey, I want to take a look at that. You say, awesome, I'm going to send it over. How soon do you think you can look at it? Because if they say, I'm going to be able to have some time to sit down and look at it 3 days from now, then you say, great. I am going to set a reminder in my calendar because I live and die by my calendar and my kids, have me on a crazy schedule and I want to make sure I don't forget about you. I'm going to contact you on Friday. I'm going to put you in my calendar for Friday so I can follow up and check and see what questions you might have or what you liked best. You're already setting the future appointment. So that makes the follow-up not weird because you told them, I'm going to give you a call. I'm going to give you a call on Friday, or I'm going to shoot you a message on Friday. You can also set up like, hey, do you want to sit down and just put a quick Zoom call, 10-minute Zoom chat on the calendar for Friday so that we can reconvene and you can ask me any questions live. If you can get them to commit to that up front, you won't have to worry so much about the follow-up. Now, I said that afterwards because chances are when you're first getting started, that might feel a little forward to you. Let me know if that feels a bit forward, if that feels, you get that little, I got to set up a Zoom call with them to talk to them afterwards, to follow up with them. Like, I'm not sure I'm ready for that. That might feel a bit forward. This is all a growth. There's new levels that you'll get to as you become more comfortable with the follow-up. And you will become more and more comfortable on presetting those next appointments and those next meetings in your first encounter as you develop your confidence in your business and in your ability to enroll people into your products and your business opportunities or your coaching programs, whatever you're in. So assuming innocence and making it a reminder more than anything, right? You're not bugging them. It's not, hey, just wanted to follow up with you, because that feels weird, right? That feels a little bit naggy versus, hey, just wanted to check back with you because I promised you that I was going to reach back out because I told you I was already going to talk to you on this day. Because I wanted to see, I loved this part about XYZ where they talked about this. What did you think about that? You're drumming up that curiosity. Now, the second part to follow up, and this is give them an out. And this is for those of you who feel like you get stuck in that world of following up with somebody over and over and over again, and they're just not making a decision. Maybe they say, oh yeah, I'm going to look at it. And then you follow up with them and they haven't. And they're like, oh, I'm going to look at it over the weekend. And then you check back with them again and they're like, oh no, I didn't get a chance to do it because of XYZ. And every single time they have an excuse. Let me know if you've ever gotten stuck in that. But yes, if you've ever gotten stuck in that, following up, you're like, this is the 7th time this person has told me I could follow up with them, but they keep having excuses every time. Well, that's where giving them an out can be a very powerful tool and strategy, because you are giving the person permission to say no to you. And the reason I say you're giving them permission to say no is because you're not in the business of convincing anyone. You're sifting and sorting. But oftentimes, especially for women, this is true. I know there's some guys on here that maybe you don't have a trouble saying no, but a lot of women, and I am stereotyping, but I'm one of them. I fall into this category, and I will, I bet you, let me know if you relate to this, but yes, I relate. You have a hard time saying no, even when you don't want to do something. But if somebody tells you it's okay, suddenly you don't feel so badly, and it actually brings you closer to them. It actually bonds you a little bit more to them in the relationship. So in this case, when you follow up with someone and say, hey, I know you said you wanted to take a look at these products, or I know you said you were kind of interested in taking a look at the business opportunity. I hadn't heard back from you. So I just wanted to check in. Is this not a good time for you? Or is it just that you've been busy and you still want to take a look at it? Yeah, a couple of you are relating. A couple of you are guys on here. So you're like, no, that doesn't apply to me. Or maybe it does. Maybe it still applies. I'm generalizing that I know that a lot of my female friends have this struggle. So giving the person an out, maybe this isn't a good time for you. Would you like me to check back with you in a couple months to see if this is of interest to you then? Now, this gives the person permission to go, oh, thank goodness. No, it's not a good time. You know what? You're right. It's not a good time. But yes, please check back with me. And then you can put them in that postpone category and say, hey, how about I reach back out with you in a couple months, like in May? I'll just see if anything's changed and you want to look into it a little bit more then. You see how that is building the relationship with you? They feel more bonded. They almost have this obligation now to respond when you come back to them in May. And yet they were able to say, no, not right now, but not in a way that made them feel threatened. They felt safe, and they've already agreed to talking to you again in the future. So you still get a chance to follow up with them. So that's number 2. The second strategy is to give people an out. Now, the third strategy is for one of those people who talks to you about, yeah, I'm thinking about it. I don't know. And they ask you a bunch of questions. Maybe this is a product, right? This could be a product that you're talking with them about, and they've got a lot of questions. They're kind of on the fence about it, or it could be the business opportunity and they've been thinking about it. This is invite them to another piece of information or another product. So let's say you have somebody who is, they're looking at the product and they're like, but it's kind of expensive. I don't know. Does it do the same thing that these other things do? And they're asking you a lot of questions, and they just really won't make the decision to move forward, right? But they also are not telling you absolutely no. In this situation, sometimes distracting people with a different product. And sometimes it's a price thing, right? Maybe the product, your flagship product in your company, is a little bit higher end. So maybe you distract them with a different product. You say, hey, you know what, Pam? I know that you were really interested in our, flagship serum. And you were thinking about it. And we actually just came out with a lotion that has some of the same ingredients, it doesn't work as intensely as the serum, but has some of the same ingredients and it's about half the price. People are seeing really cool results with it. Would you like me to tell you a little bit more about that one? So now you're moving them into maybe a different product, or maybe with the business opportunity, something has changed, right? Maybe there is a bonus going on right now for new people where they can make some sort of great incentive in their first 30 days. So somebody who's been on the fence about the business, they've been thinking about it, you've been chatting with them, they just don't pull the trigger. Then you come back with them with another piece of information and you say something like, hey, I know we were talking about the business. I know you're still kind of thinking about it. I just wanted to let you know this month, the company actually has a new incentive for new members. And if you join by this date, you'll qualify for this. And they've never seen this before, or they're only running it for this short period of time. So now you're giving them a different piece of information rather than just following up with the same thing over and over and over again, right? You're kind of distracting them over to something else. And with the product one, maybe they get in and they buy that magical lotion. I'm making this up, guys, but maybe they buy that magical lotion and it really does start giving them the results they want. And the serum that they wanted originally that was too expensive for them now suddenly is like, oh, I'm really getting results with this. If I'm getting results, and this only has half the amount of that active ingredient, I've got to try the serum. So once you have a customer, it's far easier for them to come back and buy from you over and over again, especially if they like the product, especially if they're getting results. And so maybe you need to give them a way to get in at a lower price point, or maybe you need to give them a different piece of information that gets them excited and fired up. Everybody is excited by different things. And so going at the same product for somebody or the same business opportunity and not giving them different sides of the business or different products within the company might not be reaching the thing that's going to fire them up. So that's the third one. Invite them to another piece of info or a different product. Now, this last one takes a strong stomach. So this one is for the people who just won't give you an answer. And you feel like they're stringing you along and you really need them to make some sort of decision because they're becoming I call time vampires. They're sucking your time away by you following up with them. But in order to use this last strategy, you have to 100% not be attached to the outcome. You can't in the least bit have any attachment to the outcome. If you do, if you show any sense of neediness with this strategy, it does not work. You have to be 100% okay with whatever decision the person makes, whether that's a yes or a no. And this one is called the takeaway. And it is simply that. It is you taking away what you have put on the table and letting them know that you will no longer follow up with them. And it has two results. I've honestly never seen it not generate a reaction in some form, either a yes, and a lot of times an immediate yes, I'm ready now, or a no. And they're like, okay, thank you. I appreciate it. And they're on their way. And this is how the takeaway works. If you've been following up with somebody for a long period of time, you can simply say something as, hey, Susie, I know we talked about the business for a long time. It looks like it's not the right time for you. So I'm not going to reach out to you anymore about it. If anything changes in your mind, you know where to find me, but I want to make sure that I just check you off my list. And that is hard for a lot of people to do in the beginning because they don't want to take anyone off their list, right? Have you been there? Let me know. Have you been there where you're like, no, I don't want to take anyone off my list. I don't want to because I don't have enough people on my list. And at the end, I'm going to talk to you about how we can generate more leads for you. So you have so many people on your list, you're never in that situation. But a lot of people are really worried about this. However, here's what happens. Just like in number 2, where you give them an out, this is a much firmer way of saying, I'm not going to continue to follow up with you. Basically, I'm not going to bug you endlessly if you're not going to make a decision. And there is no confusion here what is on the line. So this may sound a little harsh to some of you, but what this does is it tells people that they have to say yes or they have to say no. It forces a decision on their part because it's no longer open. It is, hey, either they come back and they go, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Yes, I am ready to order. Yes, I am ready to join the business. Or, you know what? Thanks. I appreciate that you were following up with me. But yeah, I'm not ready. They have to make a decision. And the power in this is not that you're not manipulating people. You are being honest, and you have to come from a place of honesty. You cannot come from a place of neediness. This can't be I'm going to trick them into buying my stuff. This has to come from a place of, I have the cookie. I have the thing. This person has already raised their hand, by the way, and asked you to talk about it. And we'll get to how you're going to do that, how you're going to get those leads coming to you, so that this is not these strategies, these follow-up strategies are not for people that you are cold messaging. I don't teach cold market messaging because I didn't find it to be a very effective strategy. I didn't want to go through that many numbers of people. I'd rather have fewer conversations with people who actually are very curious and interested in what I have than have hundreds of conversations with people who have no need or pain or desire for what it is that I offer. So this is not a cold market strategy. This is after you've built a relationship with somebody and you know you have the cookie and they've said they're interested and you've done what you could to find out how you can help them. You've asked them all the questions already. Now you're at the follow-up stage. They already told you they had a pain and they're not moving forward. This is the time where you say, hey, that's okay. That's fine. I'm not going to, I won't follow up with you anymore about it. And you know where to find me if you need it. You know where I'll be. That shows a level of confidence and posture in what it is that you have and a lack of neediness. And when you are not needy, you become incredibly attractive to people because you should be so busy that you need to go talk to the next person. You should have a lot of people to talk to. And if by chance you're listening to all this and you're going, oh my God, this sounds so hard, I actually have a course I'm going to offer you guys on special if you want it. It's a prospecting and closing course. It's not done by me. It's done by my good friend, Kay, who has enrolled hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people into his network marketing business, as well as affiliate marketing stuff and coaching programs. And he is masterful at prospecting and closing. And right now, probably for the next week, let's see, I'll keep it open for a week for those to watch this on the replay. I'm going to offer it for $27. So if you are struggling with, how do I do the prospecting to get to the initial conversation so that I can use these follow-up strategies that you taught today, and I want to get better at closing people, then just put closing course and I will get you the information on how you can pick up that course. Because it is very important that the strategies that I'm teaching you here today come from somebody who is already warm to you, who is already raised their hand and said, yeah, no, I want more information. You cannot just go out there and take these strategies and send cold messages to people, because it won't work, because they haven't shown any interest. So those are the 4 strategies for follow-up that you could start using today with your prospects, with the current people that you have in your pipeline. Now, I promised you that I would teach you a little bit about leverage as well, and we've got a little bit more time today. So this is all very manual. This is all one-on-one, right? You're having these conversations in Messenger, text, chat, wherever. These are one-on-one conversations. But I love to create leverage and have mass communication, because how many times can you reach out to somebody in Facebook Messenger and follow up with them in a month or a year before it starts to get a little bit weird? How many times do you think? Drop them in the comments. How many times do you think you could call somebody on the telephone asking them about, taking a look at your products or your business before they see your number and they don't pick up? Couple, maybe 3, 5. And yet we talked at the beginning that people oftentimes need to see something 7 to 12 times before they decide to move forward. So if that's the case, how do we mass communicate? Well, there are a couple things out there, one of which being one of my favorites, email. You guys know, if you've been in this group or you've been on my channel for any length of time, you know that I'm a big proponent of email marketing. And if you don't have an email autoresponder, an autoresponder is just a tool that allows you to type an email and broadcast it to 10, hundreds, thousands, 10,000 people, ever many people are on your list, then just put autoresponder in the comments. I can get you access to my favorite Aweber for free. Now, if you already have one, then you don't need Aweber because they all kind of do the same thing. I just prefer Aweber for a multitude of reasons. I've got a video on my YouTube channel about why I like Aweber the best. But if you need one, what's really neat is Aweber gets really great deliverability and they are free up to your first 500 subscribers. So a lot of times when people are like, I don't know if I want to start email marketing because I don't want to add another cost. I don't want another monthly recurring cost to add to my business if I'm just getting started. Well, you can do a lot with Aweber and get up to 500 people. And by the time you have 500 people on your list, I'm going to tell you something. If you're not making money from a list of 500 people, then you're doing something wrong. And we need to give you some more training on email because email and having that leverage to speak to that many people at once should be bringing you in some significant revenue into your business. So if you need that, you can just let me know and I will get that to you for free. But you can use email to follow up with people in mass 365 days a year. And that could be as simple as inviting people to a new training, right? We talked about inviting people to a new product or some other piece of information. If there's people on your list and they haven't pulled the trigger and made a decision, and maybe your team is running a Facebook challenge on something, you could send out an email to your entire list and invite them to that challenge and expose them to the products all over again. You could invite them to a presentation that your business is hosting. You could put together your own private little video like I've done here, put it up on YouTube, unlisted, and send out the link to your entire list. And there could be a call to action at the end of that video to take a look at the product that you were talking or demoing or explaining about. It's endless what you can do. And that kind of content is for another day. But the point of it is that you can follow up in mass using these same strategies, some of them, and being even probably bolder than you'd feel comfortable doing one-on-one in person. And you can do it 365 days out of the year. So it is an incredibly powerful tool for that. And like I said, if you need help with getting Aweber set up, just let me know and I will share that link to get a free account with you. Now, we talked about follow-up today, how to stay organized, how to do the follow-up one-on-one, and how to do it in a mass communication way to create massive amounts of leverage, right? Putting it in front of, think about if you have your list and you want to talk to 20 people individually each day, but you could also just send one email in 10 minutes. How much time are you saving? That's a huge amount of leverage. And that's a huge ability to get your stuff in front of more people, that more than 7 to 12 times. But if you're not getting the leads in the first place, then who do you have to follow up with? So that's the second part of this, is that before we do the follow-up, you guys ask for training on follow-up, but you also have to have the leads. And if you're struggling with the leads, then I do have a special invitation for you today. Next month, starting in April, inside of my Marketing Made Fun Elite group coaching, we are going to have the focus of the month be lead generation bonanza. So I call it lead gen bonanza. because it makes it sound fun and I like to have fun. So if you want more information on that, just put Bonanza in the comments and I will get you all the details. But if you want some very basic stuff, it's going to be about $49 a month. So because you need some tools, you need some things to get people raising their hand. I talked to you before about how I don't send out cold messages. I don't use scripts. I get people coming towards me instead, already raising their hand and saying, yeah, Lindsay, I want to hear more about that. I'm interested in that. I'm already intrigued. I'm indicating to you that I have a pain or a problem that I think you may be able to help me with. And when you generate a lead like that, you have a lot easier time finding out whether or not they're ready to be enrolled into your business or to use your products. It's a very different conversation than making a post on your Facebook profile of your cute puppy and getting 195 people liking it, and then just going down that list and asking all of those people if they want to join your business. Because guess what? They don't. They don't want to join your business. They like your cute puppy picture. But with what I'm going to teach you in Lead Gen Bonanza at a ridiculous, I mean, it's insane. The fact that I'm doing that for $49, because you're going to get weekly coaching from me and you're going to get access to a bunch of tools that you can use over and over and over again to just constantly bring in those leads. So you will never run out of people to talk to, and you'll never run out of people to follow up with. And you no longer have to be afraid about marking somebody off your list, because you know that you can bring in new people, that you can connect with more people who are interested in what you have to say. If that sounds like you, then you're going to want to put Bonanza in the comments and you're going to want to join us, because it's going to be a really, really powerful month. And it could be just the thing that transitions your business from just a couple of new signups per week or month into consistently bringing new people, new customers, new business partners, new coaching clients into your business month after month. So if you need lead generation, if you need help making sure that you have lots of people coming towards you, then you're not going to want to miss out on this, because once we kick off, that's it. I'm not sure I'll ever offer it again.